Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. This is Vandana Krishna, artist and a certified Zentangle teacher. And I'm super excited to bring to you Monotangle Chronicles. So what is this Monotangle Chronicles? So it's a fun project where we are going to work with the focus tangle, kind of playing with it and exploring the different variations that we can create using the same tangle. So how do we go about with this project? So each week I'm going to be choosing a focus tangle and we are together going to explore and play with the tangle, kind of creating different variations and adding enhancements to the tangles and creating a tile. So I would be showing you the focus tangle and couple of variations of the same tangle, and then we are going to use all the different variations and create a completed little Zentangle piece. Sounds good? So the supplies required for this project is a square white Zentangle tile of 3.5 inches and then a couple of small square tiles, maybe about 2 or 3 of them, which is of 2 inches square. And then you would need a fine liner pen in black color ink and another pen which has a little thicker nib which helps us in filling up ink in larger spaces. And then you would need a pencil and a blending tool. So these are the supplies that is required for every week of this project. So go gather your supplies and let us begin. So our first focus tangle in this Monotangle Chronicles series is the Tangle Circles by Zentangle. So let us start off on this little square tile and draw the Tangle Circles. So for this, with my pencil on this tile, I'm going to create a little border, very lightly just turning my tile and with free hand creating this pencil lines, kind of to add a border or frame to the tile. So once you have the border down, now let us begin to draw the Tangle Circles. So the Tangle Circles, you're going to start anywhere on the tile and make a couple of lines. It can be horizontal, vertical, oblique, whichever way you choose to. So I'm just going to go ahead and start drawing my lines kind of oblique on the tile this way. And once you have the lines, now you're going to randomly draw a couple of orbs of different sizes, just like so. Some small within this strip of lines, some just going over the lines, just a random way. You're going to add these orbs like this, right? And once you have this orbs done, our next step is we're going to consider each stripe of lines here. So the space between the two lines, including this partial orbs too. And we're going to start from one of it. Like say, if I consider this area, all I'm going to do is color in the outer. Wherever I color in the outer part of the orb, the inner part of the orb remains white. And the next stripe, what I'm going to do is color in these inner part of the orbs, which is within the stripe of lines, and leave the stripe itself white. So we're just going to alternate like our checkerboard. So to do the coloring, I'm going to use a little thicker nib pen, and I'm going to start from this corner, and in this strip I'm going to color in the strip itself and then leave the orb part white. So slowly taking our time, let us go ahead and color in this portion. So once I have done this, now I'm going to go to my next strip here, and here instead of coloring in the strip, we're going to alternate. So here I'm going to leave the strip between the lines white, and instead I'm going to color in the partial orbs that are falling within this strip. So just like this, only the orbs I'm going to ink it. So this is a very nice tangle which adds kind of contrast or drama to our tiles, and there are some lovely variations for us to play with this. So this is my second strip, and again the next one will be similar to the first one, wherein here I'm going to leave the orbs part white and I'm going to color in the strip complete black, inking in, beginning from one corner, slowly creating the ink, adding in all of the area. So this inking in can be quite zen and meditative. So take your time and slowly fill in the entire area, going at your own pace. Need not hurry or rush to match my pace. If you feel I'm fast, you can pause the video and do so. Take your time, breathe in with your strokes, and slowly ink in the rest of the area at your own pace. I'm also going to do the same and meet you back here in a couple of seconds. Alright, so I have my STRIRCLES done here. So the Tangle Circles by Zentangle is a simple line and orbs and adding drama with our ink, coloring the alternate areas. So now let us look at some of the variations that we can add to this Tangle Circles. Again, to do that, I'm going to take my little square tile and again draw a border here on the tile. Like so, and I am going to add in a variation here. So one of the variations that you can do to this tangle is kind of make the lines and the orbs very wonky, meaning, like say, let me start this time going vertically, where I'm going to make the lines a little curvy or wonky this way, and it can be very random. Again, the lines need not match the way they look each other. So just random wonky lines. And then even my orbs, I'm not going to make it into a perfect round shape. It's just a random kind of very wonky one this way, right? So this way you're going to add just like how you did with this round one, here all you're doing is make it kind of very wonky, the shapes like probably amoeba. Now adding a little one here and there if you want to just fill in the space like this. And once I have this done, now you can go just like the original, step out and ink in the alternate areas. But here, instead of inking in, I will add even more variation, and what I'm going to do is fill in these wonky shapes further with little orbs instead of inking it in completely like this. So we are still following the same basic idea of the Tangle Circles, and we are going to add in a couple of little variations or enhancements to give the same tangle a little different look. And in my next strip, I'm going to add orbs outside this area completely on the strip itself. So take your time and go ahead and fill in all of the little spaces that you have. With orbs. So go at your own pace. I'm going to continue doing at my own pace and meet you back here in a minute. Alright, so I have my wonky variation done here with very squiggly lines and squiggly orbs and filled in with tipples instead of coloring it in. Now on to the next variation of this Tangle Circles. Again on my B2 or the little square tile, I'm going to start by creating a border with the pencil, and then for this variation of circles I'm going to use kind of straightish lines again here, going vertical or horizontal if you see it this way. And then instead of orbs, I'm going to use sharp edged geometric shapes, kind of like squares or diamond shapes or pentagons, just like this. Going on the tile here and there. You can probably even use triangles, very geometric sharp edged shapes here. And now instead of inking it in or adding the tipples, I'm going to use lines going in different directions to fill up this space. So of course alternately between the shapes and the strips. So for this I'm going to start by filling it up with lines this way. And once I have this filled in with lines here, in this next strip, in this space, I'm going to fill it with lines. You can continue the lines in the same direction, or you can make the lines go a little different like this, going in a little different direction, something like this, and continue filling up the entire strip with lines like this. So as you see with these little variations, there are lots that you can play with, taking inspiration from the originals step out of STRIRCLES. And again, in this area I'm going to fill in the shapes itself with lines here. Right, so these are a couple of variations of the Tangle Circles here. Now, using all these variations, let us create a little Zentangle piece. So what we are going to do is I'm going to grab my 3.5 inches square tile, and let us start by creating our corner dots, strings, and use the variations, the different variations of STRIRCLES, and create a tile here. So to start with my pencil lightly, I'm going to place dots in the corner and then join them freehand to form a border here. And then for my string, I'm going to use, so we're going to come a little inside from this edge and again create another set of dots here, going this way and again joining them like this to create our string. So this is going to be our string for the tile. So once you have the string, so I'm going to start playing with the string, adding different variations of STRIRCLES that we saw. So I'm going to start by retracing this string line first, and then adding a little aura to the box here that we created in the center. And right here in the center, I'm going to be using this simple STRIRCLES, which is the original STRIRCLES, and I'm going to start by making lines going this way, or the stripes going this way first, and then I'm going to start by making a huge orb here and then a couple of smaller orbs. So there is no rhyme or rhythm to have you place your orbs. Probably you can make something like this, like half of it going outside, so that is totally okay. So something like this, and then I'm going to fill this alternately with ink. So in this strip, I'm going to start by filling in the strip or the stripes itself with ink and leave the orbs plain. So remember to slowly take your time and fill in all of the spaces slowly, kind of breathing in with your pen strokes. Have a nice light grip on your pen. You can keep turning your dial based on the comfort of your hand and continue inking in. So now that we have inked in the strip here in the next one we are going to leave the strip plane and ink in the orbs. So here only this part of the orb is seen, so I am going to ink in just this space here. So it adds a nice drama and contrast to the tangles. So these are just couple of variations that I am showing you, but you can probably come up with your own variations too. That is totally okay. Be mindful of where your pen is making a mark on the paper, and go one area at a time, slowly inking in all of the spaces here. So I have this center portion filled in with the original STRIRCLES. And now to go to this area, first I'm going to again retrace this border that we did with the pen here. And again we are going to add an aura to this. Like so. And now to add in the other variations here, I'm going to first start by creating lines going in different directions, and then we are going to fill in with the different variations here. So now these lines, I'm not going to make it complete wonky or complete straight, just curvy lines, and also not single lines. I'm going to make them kind of adding another variation here and adding double lines instead of single lines. So let us go ahead and do that. And as if the lines are going behind. And here I'm going to go a little wonky and make the lines this way and that. And maybe another one going here. So this way, here I went in this direction and here kind of this way. Right, now we will start by adding these variations of lines in geometric shapes and the wonky ones with orbs. Of course you can combine even uh, straight geometric shapes you can fill in with orbs, and this one you can fill in with lines. So kind of mix and match the different variations. So I'm going to start randomly somewhere over here and add in these little wonky shapes here. And here I'm going to make it geometric, so kind of like a combination of both. Again, another one here and making it geometric here. So adding in a little one here and there, and then go ahead and notice when I'm going to the other strip, the same shape, I'm not going to go over this double line. So this way, fill in all of the spaces first with the shapes that you want to, and then we are going to add in the lines or the orbs. And to add a little variation here, again this geometric shape, I'm going to end it here with a curvy one. So isn't it a nice combination of different shapes? And now we're going to start by filling up the alternate stripes, either with lines or orbs or a combination of both. So I'm going to take a combination of both. So wherein here I'm going to start this time the wonky space with lines, and the ones with the triangle here, triangle or the geometric shapes, I'm just going to fill in with orbs. If you want to add more contrast, you can just kind of ink in the tiny little spaces between the orbs like this. Remember to keep breathing in and out with your strokes, going slowly one area at a time. Like this. So this way I'm going to alternate between lines and orbs here. So this area again within the geometric shapes, I'm going to fill in the lines, and this area here I'm going to fill in with orbs, and we are going to continue doing that. So go at your own pace, filling in each of the area, and we will complete this and then add the shading. Again, notice I'm not keeping the same direction of lines here also. You can just vary the direction of lines any which way that you want, adding in more interest to the tile here. Within a single strip you can vary the direction of lines, that is totally okay. So go one area at a time and fill in with lines and orbs alternately, doing at your own pace. And I'm also going to continue adding all of these, filling them in with different shapes, and I'm going to meet you back here in a minute. All right, so I have all of my areas now filled in with the different variations of STRIRCLES, and now it's time to add in some shades to enhance this entire piece. So to do that, here in this area I'm going to just add within the orbs, just right next to the dark area, like this. In each of the orbs, wherever there is white, just like this, and one side on this complete orb. You can go either this side or this side, that is totally okay. So something like this. And on these areas wherever there are the line variations that I've done, just outside the shape, I'm going to add in little shading just to enhance the shape here. Shading is totally fun, and it's up to you. If you want to shade it a little differently than what I'm doing, that is totally fine. And once I've added on all these where I have done the line variation, I've added outside. On these ones, the shapes that have been left empty, there I'm going to add inside the shape like this. So going inside the shape to enhance the shape, kind of like this. And with my blending tool, I'm going to now smoothen all of this out, kind of working the graphite into the fibers of the paper, very light-handed, and creating shades of gray to add a nice contrast to this black and white here. The shading coming to life, you can make out how nicely you can add variations to one single tangle, and how differently your tile starts to look. So take your time and smoothen out all of the shading here. And now to kind of finish off this entire piece, I'm also going to add shading going across the inner and outer of this border here. So just like this, kind of creating a frame effect. And here I'm going to add in the graphite a little heavy handed. So I hope you enjoyed creating the style along with me, exploring a single focus tangle circles and playing with the variations of the same. So please do share your creations that you've done following this video. I would love to see all of your variations, and do leave your comments below on this video, sharing your thoughts, if you have any feedbacks, and also if you would like to explore any tangle in particular, do let me know. So that would be really nice to explore, and I'll try and create different variations of the tangle, and we can tangle together as part of this series. So please do leave your comments, and if you like the video, please hit the like and subscribe buttons so that you don't miss out on the upcoming tutorials here. Oops, I just noticed that I haven't added inside these little areas, so just quickly adding in some shade there and finishing this off. So here's our tile with the monotangle circles and different variations of that, and now it's time to add in our initials or our job. Here you go, our first focus tangle of the Monotangle Chronicles series. So I hope you enjoyed. Please do share your creations, leave your comments, and remember to hit the subscribe button. I will see you again next Friday here with another focus tangle, and I'm sure you're going to love this. All right, I'm going to see you again soon. Bye.